welcome everybody. We are in August of 2025, and so we've decided to make August the anti-aging month. So all month long, we'll be doing several shorter videos on different aspects of anti-aging and why redox molecules play such an important role in all of that. We've also posted all four calls already in WhatsApp. So if you're not part of our WhatsApp group, talk to the person that brought you here and they'll be happy to get you dialed in. So we're going to begin our series with understanding redox molecules and its role in anti-aging in general. So we all understand the word anti-aging, and we know that it sounds like a good thing because aging in general is something that we all want to avoid at all costs. And some of us have circumstances that cause us to age maybe a little bit faster than other people. In my case, I was only 27 years old when we were in this head-on collision, my wife and I, and it took me 17 years to overcome these injuries. And now daily, I still overcome them, I guess, to some degree. It takes therapy. It takes a constant work. And since I found these molecules that we're going to be talking about today, it's been almost 10 years now. I have had my freedom from a wheelchair that I was in for many years. And from the horrible discomfort that I was feeling all the time, I finally found my way around all of that. And these molecules took a big part of that. I always knew in my heart of hearts that every cell in my body is going to replace itself or try to heal itself. And if I can just make a better version than what I have right now, I think that's going to be my key to breaking free of all of it. And so exactly that. So we're going to talk about tonight, what does a better version of your cell actually mean? So let me introduce you to redox signaling molecules and cellular communication. You can say that health, in essence, is nothing more than a dance of electrons around our molecules and around our cells. It creates what we call potential. How much electrical charge do our cells hold? Ideally, about 70 to 100 millivolts. But the difference is when it has that charge, guess what? It can function and do what it's supposed to do. And when it loses its charge, it's just going to sit there. It's not going to do much because there's no potential left. So we're in this constant battle of charging and recharging our cells all day long. And redox signaling molecules, they're involved in that transfer of electrons. It plays a very crucial role in how our cells can actually communicate. Think of your own cell. You need power, and I need bars to connect my signal so that I can talk to somebody else. Okay, well, our cells need that signal to talk to the other cells. It helps maintain their function and regulates healthy aging process. Well, where do we make that energy? Well, we're making it inside every cell. This is a mitochondria that you're seeing, and it is producing ATP and redox signaling molecules. You're going to hear us say those words quite a few times today, but it's these molecules that we need to enhance, make all functions happen, not just within our cell, but outside our cells too. Tiny, energy molecules that will recharge your cells and give them the potential so that they can thrive and do exactly what they're supposed to do, which is sending information through our nervous system, through our blood flow. All of those signals need to be sent through these electrical impulses. So, how does this impact us when we talk about longevity then? Well, longevity is how well are we living and for how long can we live that well, in essence. It supports our body in cellular repair, making a better version of that previous cell, and reducing oxidative stress, the thing that actually causes most of the damage in our cells anyway. So, what does oxidative stress mean? What does redox mean? It means reduction and oxidation. So, oxidation is when you break one of those electrons away, and now you have a free electron that doesn't have a pair. That becomes radical. That's why they call it a free radical. And it runs around damaging things that it touches. So, your antioxidant, it's the molecule you see in the middle, and its belt is loaded with redox signaling molecules. So, it can donate one at any time to neutralize that free radical and make it happy again, find its mate and its pair. Now, the fact is we're constantly making redox molecules in our cell. And what you see here is the the process and how we're making more versions of our cell. This is where we go into the DNA of our cell and think of redox molecules like a copy machine. The more molecules you have, the more copies you can make of that DNA. And most likely, the more copies you make, the better version you're going to find of one from when you were way younger, before the accident, before the injuries, before the toxicities, infections, or traumas, or things that led our cells to function less than optimally in the first place. So we literally can make up to 3 billion copies of your DNA, and it's the redox that puts all those proteins together to make the best version of you in that next stem cell. Well, why is that important? We need an ample amount of these redox molecules to reproduce who you are. The problem is as we're aging, we're losing the amount of molecules that any of us could make at that age. You can see at 80, you have about 20% of what we had when we were 20. So when that's the process, and then you add things like stress, diet, sleep, genetics, lifestyle, and attitude plays a big role, you're going to burn through what you already have or lack of even faster. And all that means is you're going to age quicker. Some people can be 80 and look 60. Some people can be 60 and look 80. Okay, it all depends on how fastly you're depleting the energy that's vital to every cell in your body. The more we have, the better looking we are and the better functioning we are. It's not just the outside, it's every cell throughout the inside of us as well. So here's some examples of what an anti-aging looks like when you have optimal redox signaling. So the first thing is it enhances your skin's elasticity. It's going to improve your immune function, and it increases your energy and gives you more of that vitality that we had when we were younger. So, why does it improve the elasticity of the skin? Well, we're producing redox right below the epidermis, right in that layer, and that's where our new skin cell happens. In fact, it takes 28 days for that new cell to reach the surface. So when we have ample amounts of redox, we're making the best version of ourselves, maybe without the scar that's been there for a long time, or the blemish, or the wound, or the injury. All of these things happen just below the skin. So it's important to maintain that elasticity, that we have a high redox potential so that we're making proper skin cells. The second thing is it improves our immunity. It gives us a shield to defend all the free radicals and viruses and toxins and things that are constantly thrown at our cells. All of those things cause oxidative stress. They break down the cell too prematurely. So when we have a good immune response, well, guess what? That's going to give us high energy levels, and it's going to allow us to contribute to that youthful vitality that we all seek to maintain. So think of it this way. Every cell in your body's got all this potential when we're young, and we can literally send information to every cell nearby to help them adapt to whatever stresses that I'm feeling so that all of them don't get taken out by that same stress. But the problem is, as I mentioned, we're aging. And when we age, we lose some of that potential. So we have to pick and choose which cells can I talk to and which ones should I avoid right now because I just don't have enough energy to do it. And then unfortunately, we keep aging and we keep losing more and more connections to different parts of our body. And so we're not as vital. We don't respond as well when we fall down and jump back up. We don't heal as quickly as we used to until we learn how to restore potential. It doesn't matter what age you are. When you have more potential, guess what? These connections come back to life. They're back on to allow all your cells to function better, to do exactly what they are supposed to do from the time that they were identified in a stem cell as a type of cell. It never competes to be anything else. It just wants to give you the best performance and the best function that it possibly can do. Well, I want to introduce you to your new alpha supplement. This is the one that predates anything else that we do for our health. Redox signaling molecules, what drives the function of every cell in your body. Without this power and potential, our cells don't do what they're supposed to do. They just don't have the ability to do it. How good does your cell phone function once the battery dies? It looks like a phone, but it doesn't act like a phone anymore. And so these molecules are what's responsible for charging your cells and communicating with other cells. It's such a beautiful thing. It's the most effective way to reverse the effects of aging in all of us. It's like that fountain of youth that we've all been looking for. Well, it's time to optimize your potential. And the first step to do that is with the better version of you, the better version of your cells that you might not have been able to pull out for years, maybe decades. And ASEA is the only company in the world that is going to give you access to this product. The ones that your body makes, they're used within a trillionth of a second. If you stopped making them, you would only live for 3 minutes before you would cease. They're the activators of your cells. They're the messengers of your cells. And these are the things that you stop making the minute you pass. So it's what keeps us young. And when we can have this at our access, our cells start turning back in their aging process, start to behave better, start to hold a charge longer, even hold more of a potential of a charge. So increasing the potential of every cell in your body is exactly what you felt like when you were younger. So this is the first class that we're going to do out of 4 classes on anti-aging. I want to end with the fact that ASEA and Renew 28, which is our gel, which is twice as concentrated as that liquid, they're not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases or medical conditions. It's only your body that does the healing. We're simply giving you the potential back so that you can heal better. Now, tune in next week when we are going to talk about rejuvenating your skin through redox signaling in all aspects, how to have radiant skin from within. So, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.